Bay Area. Welcome back to SFN, where we explore the stories that define our community with clarity and integrity. I'm your host, Diane. Before we dive deeper into tonight's conversation, I want to give a special shout out to our incredible super show producer, Javon Giles. Thank you for your hard work and dedication in bringing these important discussions to life. Thank you, Javon. We're excited to welcome back one of our favorite guests, Josephine Zhao. This promises to be one of our best shows yet. Welcome back, Josephine.
Thank you, Diane.
So glad to have you.
Thank you.
So earlier this year, there was a powerful speech from you. And as the president, Josephine Zhao was the president of the Chinese American Democratic Club.
Yes.
And you gave a powerful speech that stirred up conversations across various communities. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you said Asian Americans are in charge. And with an audience of about 300 people cheering on, this statement indicates a growing influence and unity within our diverse population. Right. So, Josephine, is that an accurate statement?
I think so, in many perspectives of San Francisco as well as our country. So locally, we have Nancy Tong, just elected as the chairperson of San Francisco's local Democratic County Central Committee. So she's taking charge of our party, Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And below that, we have, Selena Sun in charge of the Edley Democratic Club. Mm-hmm. And Kaisel Lee is taking the helm of United Democratic Club, and I became the president of Chinese American Democratic Club. After many, years, I think that CADC haven't had a female president for over 35 years.
Wow.
So that was an achievement. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for the clarity. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on Josephine's journey, which, like all of us, has had its ups and downs. Back in 2018, you were preparing for a school board candidacy. Mm-hmm. And when it appeared that you had attempted to derail the transgender rights legislation, during that time you also faced criticism for allegedly delivering mixed messages to your followers, providing a different narrative in Chinese on WeChat than the one you shared in English. As we navigate the media landscape, often clouded by clickbait and misinformation, SFN News listeners, audience deserves clarity. Mm-hmm. So, Josephine, could you share your thoughts on how your past comments, particularly regarding the transgender community, reflect your current perspective?
Thank you for the question. I mean, this is a very long-running questions that surround me, and I'm so glad that you give me a chance to clarify it. I have always been a supporter of LGBTQ rights and a defender of transgender rights. For me, I always support the right for transgender community people to use the bathroom that their gender they feel identified with. In the situation of what happened in 2018, came from a law that spawned in 2013, where AB 1266, when it first came to our community, because of the definition, the vague wording, many people misunderstood it, including me. So it was said that any student can go into any bathroom that they identify with the gender that they identified with. So a lot of us were, as a parent, we were like, wait, that looks a little vague.
Right.
So I wanted to clarify, I do not support co-ed bathroom, which means abolishing boys and girls bathroom in our schools. And then every bathroom, shower, and locker room became co-ed. I wanted to say I did not support that. But then when people translated it into English, it became that I did not support gender neutral bathroom, which means we keep the boys and girls bathroom, shower, and locker, and then adding a gender neutral one, a third one. So that was the nuance that was not being translated properly.
Perfect. Perfect. You know, the community has noticed when Josephine reemerged at the Democratic American Convention, at the Chinese American Democratic Convention, which was more than just a political gathering, it was a showcase of unity. Mayor London Breed and a lineup of city officials, including Jenny Lam, David Chu, and Carmen Chu, highlighted the importance of Asian leadership and representation. Mayor Breed stated that, "I have continued to support and uplift the voices of the Asian community. This is especially significant as she faces tough re-election challenges and feedback showing a dip in approval among Asian voters." So Josephine, what did this gathering represent?
Oh, it represents a unity of across different groups in our San Francisco that are more involved in politics. I think that these all came from community leaders, and they wanted to make sure our city is going to the right direction. And therefore, we are joining together to make our voice heard. And we are very glad that Mayor London Breed has been treating us very well with the respect that we deserve. She came to our dinner. She dressed in a qipao, which we love. She is one of our community granddaughter, as there's a grandma for her. So a lot of people respected her, and we love that her first appointment was Ivy Lee, which is an Asian American for the City College Board. As soon as she got on to her 2018 election, that was her first appointment. We're very proud of London Breed. Mayor Breed continued to treat us, our community, with the respect.
With respect. That's good. Yes, she did look great in that. What is the dress called?
Qipao.
The qipao. Being a native San Franciscan, I've wanted a qipao since I was a child.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to get one this year.
Okay.
I'm going to get one. So founded in 1958, the Chinese American Democratic Club has seen fluctuations in activity. Someone noted that your leadership is revitalizing the club. Especially after you mobilized support during, that was Senator Weiner. You mobilized support during his 2016 campaign.
Right.
Josephine, would you like to share your opinion on the senator's level of support for your initiatives?
Yeah, so Supervisor Weiner, now he became the state senator, right? So we first met him when he was a senator. He really advocated for...
When he was a supervisor.
Oh, sorry, when he was a supervisor.
We had so much hope for him then, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we already got to know him, and he was running for senator at that time. So it was a difficult choice between a Asian American candidate versus then Supervisor Scott Wiener. But our community firmly stood with Supervisor Scott Wiener because of the policy alignment. Like, what do you really care about our community? What do you know about us? And how do you see us grow? Our community is working for upward momentum.
Yes.
We came with nothing, 2 suitcases, maybe $1,000 in the pocket for family of 4.
Yeah.
Fresh off the boat, we moved into the SRO single room occupancy in Chinatown, where a 10 by 10 room like this with 2 sets of bunk bed.
Yes.
We live, work, do homework, eat, and sleep in the same 10 by 10 room with family of 4. We have to go outside to use the bathroom.
Wow.
So how do we go from there to get our own home, to get a better job, to earn wages that are dignified to our community? One job is enough, not just under table cash.
Right.
That's how do we get there?
That's right. And I'm glad you said that, because that's what our communities have in common. When we came from the South, we're not going to even talk about the slavery, because when they freed us, we had nothing.
Right.
We freed no food, no anything. But our way, the black way. Now we're not talking about this New Jack, whatever that is. But the black way is we all live together, we save our money, education, family and education. We get good jobs, people purchase their own homes, people move out and buy their home. This one moves out and buys a home, this one moves
Yes.
out and buys a home. And also we relate because we fought and we continue to fight as well for the respect that we deserve. We just want to work hard. We don't only want to give us anything.
Yes.
No, just open up the door and we'll get it ourselves. So Josephine, as we approach the conclusion of this segment, it's important to consider your relationship with the transgender community, and I think you've outlined that very well. You mentioned, are you familiar with Cecilia Chung?
Yes.
Okay. And she's expressed some cautious optimism. And with all due respect, you know what she said. She's not sure. So why is she expressing cautious optimism? And but she does say that she thinks she will be more mindful going forward and working with all communities, including LGBT. So obviously she didn't have the privilege of hearing what you just said and what your real sentiments were and concerns. Just let the little boys have the little boys' bathroom and the little girls have the little girls' bathroom. And in translation, it got confused.
Yeah.
So...
But I think that also highlighted something that I need to work on. Cecilia has been a great mentor and has been a great advisor to show me the ropes. And of course that I need to continue to make progress in that arena to earn trust from her as well as the transgender community. So a lot of things, when one thing that you hear from other people about someone, it came out wrong, then the rest of the time you spend to just clarify and build relationship, and that would take forever, right? But I have the patience and the availability right here every day to do the good work to make our community better, and one day we will break that ice again to rebuild the relationship.
And I have every hope. I believe the ice has already been broken, and I know with the airing of this show, people they will understand, because misinformation, it travels so quickly, and good information, correct information, for some reason travels slowly.
Yes.
So, but our viewers are now aware, and they've heard it from you, because hearsay is not good.
Right.
This is why we like to have the facts. Now, before we end today's episode, is there anything you'd like to talk about? May I have one request?
Yes.
I have one request. Can we talk about Proposition K?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah. Proposition K is going to be on your November ballot. That will permanently close the Great Highway to personal and commercial cars.
Why do they want to close some refer to it UGH. If you see UGH, that's what it is, Upper Great Highway. Why do they want to close it? They say they want to create a park?
Yeah, that's the premises, but it seems like there's no funding in the legislation and no plan. It's just a mere closure of roads to private citizens, but it will continue to allow that road to be used for emergency vehicle, intra-park vehicle, as well as bicycles.
Now, how do you feel about Scott Wiener and his position on Proposition K? I'm very surprised, quite frankly, but I was a former supporter of Scott Wiener, and we've invited him to the show so he can speak for himself. But everything that I've read says that he's in favor of closing the Upper Great Highway. And so I want you to tell me how you feel about that as a resident and also as a representative of the Chinese American Democratic Club. And thirdly, why? What is the benefit? Who's going to benefit from the closure?
Yeah, very good questions. I mean, the legislation, how it came to the ballot was very surprising to us. It was a last minute deal on maybe before the 5 p.m. deadline of the last minute that you can submit a proposition to the ballot.
Wow.
So the community was not aware of, the merchant associations were not aware of. The West Side community was very taken aback, especially as the Chinese and Asian community that have 55% presence on those areas, because it will devastate and it will change the population makeup of the Sunset.
Right, so excuse me for interrupting, but But why do they want to close? Who's going to benefit from the closure? The traffic's going to now go down, drive in front of people's homes. It's going to destroy the roads. There's going to be dust, damage, impatient commuters wanting to get through. Who's going to benefit from creating that kind of chaos? Who's going to benefit in the upper grade highway closure?
Definitely not the people that live there. But it's probably for maybe people who want a waterfront property that has more better view and not having a great highway running through it. Maybe, we have heard that the last 1,000 feet of the coastal line is under a new legislation from the state level that wanted to take that 2.7 miles of coastal control away from the Coastal Commission and put into the legislation, the state legislation, to be legislated in order to have faster housing development without all the CEQA and also a different jurisdiction to make it more difficult. As difficult it is now, because right now coastal, the 850 miles of California coastal line is under the jurisdiction of Coastal Commission in order to protect the wildlife, the coastal line, as well as the sand and the beaches. So therefore, that 1,000 feet is you can't develop most of the things in there unless that it was been there historically,
Right.
which is what the Great Highway have been, as well as all those waterfront, oceanfront properties were. But if once this legislation came into play, then that whole area by the Great Highway will be open to hyper development.
And you know what? They've been trying to take that area since I was, they say, knee-high to a duck. Because there was playland there before, as you know, and we had the fun house there.
Yes.
And they wanted more development, so we gave them some. Now they want the whole thing. It's just a matter of time. But I'm very surprised that Senator Weiner is not respecting all of you who voted for him. And so I'm very disappointed. And then the impact, because I've attended some of the rallies, I've gotten the information and listened to people that live there and how they spoke about the impact. And I'm just I'm very glad to have you on the show so that you can share the facts, because I don't see any benefit other than to take something that's public and make it private. So, and we only have 49 square feet.
Yes.
Square miles?
Square miles, yes.
We don't have room to privatize anything.
Yeah, I think this is a disappointment that, how the legislation had not come to us to make a compromise or explain why. I mean, the Prop K, the more you look at it, the more it does not make sense. Like nothing makes sense. Right? If they can privatize a road within a park by the Golden Gate, by the Ocean Beach, they can do that for every road within Golden Gate Park, within McLaren Park, within Twin Peaks. All the roads that go through it could be closed down.
Right.
And that will impact a lot of us throughout the city. Right now it's on the western side because of Prop K. There might be another proposition that coming down that impact the Mansell,
Yeah, they'll come over where we are too. They're gonna, they start with a little bit and then they just keep going.
Right.
So I hope everyone registers to vote.
Yes.
I hope everyone votes no on K.
No on K.
Because as Josephine stated, there's no money. There is no money. You can read for yourself. There's no money allocated. Look at the map. There are parks everywhere. What do they mean they want to create a park? And the fact that they snuck the legislation in.
Right.
This is why I must say we need representatives who are going to represent us. When you stop representing us, then, unfortunately, sometimes then we have to take the appropriate action. And the appropriate action is through our vote.
That's right.
So, Josephine, thank you for having the courage to say what needs to be said and to share the facts with our listening audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane.
You are most welcome. It's my pleasure. And I look forward to having you back on the show several times. We have many things to discuss and uncover and share. And as we reflect on your past and your journey toward unity, how do you envision your role in bringing and bridging the gaps and fostering understanding between diverse communities in San Francisco?
Yeah, this is a big challenge ahead of us. We have been spending a lot of time finding our differences instead of our commonality and letting all these divisions drive us apart. So what we really need to do is continue to talk like this and then build understanding and build bonds and alliance. So anything that we have problems with, we need to talk it out and make sure that we are on the same page.
I agree. Thank you so much. And also, now we need a watchdog to watch people that's sitting at the. We need a watchdog in Sacramento for legislation that they're going to squeeze in 5 minutes before closing. Let's think about that. Think about that, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of SFN News. We've explored the complexities of Josephine Zhao's journey and the importance for clarity in our ever-evolving media landscape. As we strive for unity between our diverse communities, it's essential to engage in open dialogue and understanding. Change takes time, but together we can create a more inclusive environment for everyone. Remember, your voice matters. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay active, and let's continue to support one another as we navigate our shared future. Until next time, take care and have a great evening.
Good night.
Good night.